I've got a hodgepodge of a wood pile here, everything from a little bit of pine, mostly red oak, and on up through there. And like this, now the amazing thing about this is, and frankly I thought it was a joke at first, but this wood's pretty much all been bucked up with this little Echo 58-volt saw here. In fact, it's done so well that I'm thinking it might even replace my bigger gas saw when I get into bigger tree trunks and stuff like that. Main limit is the bar on it is, it says it's 16 inches, but it's set back in the mount so far that you really only get about 14 out of it. And then it's a 043 gauge bar, which is pretty thin, and it wants to walk around a little bit in bigger logs if you're working around a knot or something like that. Another thing I noticed with it, I turned upside down to look at it, you can see down in there, is that the chain sets on the sprocket a little bit inboard, and so that makes me think that somebody at some point in time thought that maybe an 050 gauge bar and chain would center on that just about exactly. So I went and bought one. I'm gonna put it on there and see what happens. So here I've got back of my old pickup truck here. There's a chain. Let's see what the spec on it is. It's ordered this off Amazon. You can get them from $30 up to a little over 40. And the one difference is on the bar is it has a couple of extra holes. If you wanted to mount a what they call a power sharp thing on it from Oregon, I think that's what that is. This is called a double guard. This is 16-inch bar, 050 gauge is groove width on it. The chain is what that is. It's a 91 PX062G, 050 gauge, 3/8 pitch, 62 length. It takes a 5/32 file to sharpen it with. So I'm going to cut out and put that on and see what it looks like. Yeah, one thing I want to mention real quick, I forgot to before. This is the Oregon model number for this bar. As I mentioned, 18 inches, 050 gauge, 91, 62 lengths. And so these last four digits here, A041, pertain to the particular bar mount. Now if you look at Echo's website, A041 is a bar mount that their little cordless saw uses. So you see here's the stock bar on top of the, which is probably Oregon 2, on top of the new bar, and it's exactly the same because I ordered an A041 bar, so mount. So there you go. Yeah, this is what the saw looks like with that new bar on it. And I want to qualify something here. This saw's come out with a 043 gauge on it, and that's because it wants to maximize the battery life. And so I probably only use this longer bar with a thicker bar when I was getting into some bigger rounds. And when I was done sawing the big stuff, I'd go ahead and put the stock bar and chain back on it, because it's really the best for anything you know, about 12 inches and smaller, because it extends battery life.